But let's start with the NFL and Aaron Rodgers and just all that Jets talk and the owner. And Rob G, can you just kind of fill us in on, like they pulled the curtain back at the Jets, and it wasn't a pretty picture. And for all people who don't know, I grew up in New York. I grew up as a Jets fan. I followed this team. Kelvin, when I was in high school, I did not work on Sundays at the shoe store, Nichols Stride Right on Queens Boulevard. I'm a 16-year-old guy. I tell the boss, I'll work any day for you, but no Sundays during football. So that's how big of a football fan I was, okay? Right. So I was really into it and all that, and the Jets was my team. I've been in this business a long time. I don't root for teams, but I know that this franchise has been dysfunctional for a long time. But Rob G, just clue us in on some of the stuff that has come out.
Yeah, it's actually a combination of two stories. One of them, the big one that we talked about yesterday's show, you guys were both off, in The Athletic.
I never missed the Odd Couple when we're not
I know you don't. But The Athletic published a long-form piece talking about the Jets' dysfunction with a keen eye focused on owner Woody Johnson. A few highlights that you guys might appreciate. According to The Athletic, Woody Johnson used Madden ratings to justify making trades or not making trades and free agency decisions.
How sick is that?
He's just one of us. He's just one of us.
Number two, he used his two teenage sons as advisors on team matters, both including the roster and front office decisions. Johnson forced coaching staff to make certain roster decisions, including benching their starting safety middle of the season this year. And number four, Woody Johnson, according to The Athletic, had friends and family members in the locker room after games, wins and losses, and would occasionally criticize players in the locker room to their face. Not to be outdone, about an hour after this article dropped, which was a bombshell, covered a lot of different shows on the network. ESPN published their own piece, and they ranked what they believe to be the most damning, worst decisions that any team has made over the last 5 years for each roster. The number 3 overall of all the 30 teams, and the number 1 move by the Jets, what they believe set them back more than anything they've done in the last 5 years, was the acquisition of Aaron Rodgers. So it got me thinking, guys, do you agree that Aaron Rodgers, at this point, given what we've seen with behind the scenes with Woody Johnson, is he getting a little too much blame for what's gone wrong in New York this season?
I'll start, and I'll say absolutely he's getting too much blame. The Jets have been dysfunctional for a long time, and here's the issue. Yes, he was supposed to be this white horse coming in. Rob G, you can look it up. In about 5 of their losses, the defense gave up a winning drive at the end of every game. Like it's unbelievable. As good as the defense was a couple years ago, it just didn't live up to it. But there's so much dysfunction that goes there. And here, Aaron Rodgers has become the NFL's piñata. People have gone out of their way to try to discredit this guy who's one of the greatest throwers of the football. Whether you like him, whether you despise him because he lied and said he was vaccinated and he wasn't, that hurt his standing with a lot of people, and rightfully so, to talk about that in that vein, during that time where people, you don't know if they had grandparents or people who are sick, and you just wanted to know who's vaccinated, who's not. I thought that was bad. But it's been a piling on. Of course, last year he got hurt in 4 snaps, so that kind of, that season went by the wayside. I don't know if you can blame him for getting hurt, when the offensive line couldn't protect him. He was hurried on 3 of the 4 snaps that he had before he got hurt. And then this year, while his numbers and his play is not good, no one's here trying to defend it, I'll tell you, just for comparison, go look at Patrick Mahomes' numbers compared to Aaron Rodgers. They're identical. One guy is the worst in the world, and the other guy is the greatest quarterback who ever played. And I'm not, me. We've tackled the Patrick Mahomes numbers here. We don't have on these rosy glasses like a lot of people. You've even admitted when looking as much as you like him that his numbers aren't good, haven't been up to par, and just not good. And no other show would even go there to tell you that go look for yourself. And I'm not saying that he's played great and he's done everything right. That's not but he's a piñata because of the stuff on Pat McAfee, making his appearance, pushing back seemed like every week on somebody. There's always some dispute. There's a lot of outside stuff. And then people try to discredit him as if he hasn't won a Super Bowl. He hasn't won 4 MVPs. He doesn't have the greatest touchdown to interception rate. Like, there's so many things we talk about his career, and I think he's just an easy target at this point.
Well, so you brought up a couple of good points, but one of the things I think that he can't be the victim in is the same thing he was the praise in, and that is that quarterbacks get most of the praise, quarterbacks get most of the criticism. That's just the name of the game. I'll give you an example. Sam Darnold right now. Like, he all MVP candidate because the Vikings are having an amazing season. We don't talk about the defense, but I'm saying people are saying that. We don't talk about the defense that much. We don't talk about the running game. Well, they have arguably the best receiver. We don't talk about him. It's just, look at Sam Darnold. This is what he's doing. The Buffalo Bills have an amazing season. What is it? Josh Allen. Man, look at the Patrick Mahomes always makes the play, wins. Patrick. And this is what we do. The quarterbacks get all the praise, turn it around, they get all the criticism. So Aaron Rodgers, truth be told, he should be used to this. This ain't nothing new to him. He should be understanding what comes with the job. I'm going to get a whole lot of praise like I did 85, 90% of the time that I was in Green Bay, but also I'll get some criticism. Now, what doesn't help him is the fact you mentioned it. When Tom Brady was with the Patriots, one of the things that's become interesting is people are like, oh, he's got a personality. Oh, he's funnier than I thought. Oh, he's livelier. He's more a little more irreverent than I thought because he just went in, did his business, win or lose. Aaron Rodgers, to his credit, that's his choice. He's always in the media. He's always doing this. He always gives his opinion about everything. And that is literally his choice. I don't have a problem with it. But what comes with that is the scrutiny that comes along with that people will have with it. Same thing with LeBron. LeBron chooses to put his head and his voice in everything. Hey, political things. Hey, other sports. Hey, this. Hey, social commentary. That's his right. So what happens is, man, stick to basketball. Or, man, you doing this. Or if you focus on this basketball instead of this, you'd be doing better. So it happens with the greats. It happens with people with prominent names. When you start to do so many other things, we're going to pinpoint. And it's one of those things, him doing all of this and not winning, you know that. Wins and losses. If he were winning and he came and saved the Jets, none of it would matter that he was doing the Pat McAfee or that he had these conspiracies or that he was doing dark room mushrooms.
I'll give you that, but you cannot let the Jets ownership off the hook.
And no, I'm not getting off the. So I'm talking about that.
Well, but that's what. Yeah. But that's what I'm saying is, like, no matter what. And I brought up the point, Rob G, and I don't know if you can figure it out or find out how many. Like, there were literally the Patriots game that they marched down on the deep. Like, they had the lead, right? The Patriots get the ball, they march down, score the game with a touchdown. You could take a look at a football game and say, "Oh, Aaron Rodgers lost again." You could look at the Indianapolis game. I could give you like 5 games where the team that held the ball last, not the Jets, the visiting team or the opponent,
right,
marched down on that defense and won the game in which they had a lead in the game. In the game they lost to, was it Denver? Where the kicker missed a chip shot.
No. They have played. They're better. That's what I'm saying. They're the AFC version of the Bears in that they've played better than their record at times. Caleb Williams has produced more than the record would show at times. But the end result, all of us go, "Oh, they're terrible." When you're like, "No, did you watch the game? They actually should have won, or they had a chance to win." The other thing I'll say to your point, that's the other choice that makes this difficult is that Aaron chose to go to the Jets, knowing it was a dysfunctional organization, knowing that this is where they haven't had a history of winning. Tom Brady went to the Bucks, who have been successful over the last 15, 20 years, who, had everything on the ingredients.
But I don't look at it. I got to say.
But hear me out, though. So what I'm saying is he went to an organization, to your point, that has been not well run, that hasn't had the success, and it's like, well, dude, why'd you go there? Here's Aaron Rodgers.
Here's my pushback. Kawhi Leonard went to an organization that never won anything.
And they did nothing since.
No. But he could have gone because some people don't want the easy path. Some people want to be in a situation where they try to be the difference and turn. Tom Brady looked around and took the easiest path. He looked at
Right.
the Bucs and said, they got a good defense, they got great receivers. All they got to do is stop the quarterback from throwing 30 interceptions.
Hey, Rob,
They got a chance
he was
to win.
40-something. That's all he wanted to do. I ain't 28 trying to, do this for another 10, 15 years. That's what he did, and that's what Aaron should go. You should go to one of these teams and make that happen. Matthew Stafford with the Rams. But the ownership is trapped. When you got your sons telling you what to do and also looking at Madden, that is comical. And I thought you would be a little bit more excited because he is part of the Johnson & Johnson family who provide us with baby oil. So I did think you would show him a little bit more love.
No, I'm not paying $4.95 for baby oil. I want the 99-cent baby oil. Same stuff.
It don't last the same, Rob.
It's the same stuff. It feels the same.
It don't
to me.
last the same.
I'll tell you that. All right.